Hello, my name is Robin Mitchell. I am 26 and I have two children, and I'm currently employed as a registered behavioral technician at a early intervention ABA clinic. I am currently enrolled in the psychology military resilience program. Sorry, I keep messing that up no matter how many times I practice it. Psychology military resilience program with a goal to become a military family life counselor, which is also known as an MFLAC to the service members and their families. Based off my interest, I have chosen the research topic of military children and families in remote communities having access to mental health services. I came up with the research question of how do military dependents access mental health services? This can be quite hard as there is not many resources readily available to dependents in the military, as they're always moving, some internationally, some locally and within the US. And based off of the location of the base, they could be in a very secluded area that does not have many resources in the mental health field. And typically, if a child is considered to have special needs in a way, they are enrolled into the EFMP program, which is the Exceptional Family Program. I have found two articles that are related to my research, and the first one is child health as a national security issue, obesity and behavioral health conditions among military children. This article fits into my research topic as it discusses urgency of giving military dependents medical care. They want the military dependents to maintain their health. That way they can in turn join the service and follow in their parents' footsteps. In many cases, a military child is more than likely to join, and it is known that those are our future of the services. The second article I found was Understanding Military Families Who Have Dependents with Special Care or Educational Needs. This again falls under the EFMP program, Exceptional Family Military Program, and being employed as an MFLAC, I would be able to work with these children closely, or any military dependents for that matter, but I would be a reliable source to them in schools around military bases. That way they can have the help in the educational system, which is not always the case. The only MFLAC I saw growing up was at my first high school, and at my second high school they weren't there, and it was very rough. Going back to the first high school, the MFLAC was no longer there, and things became very tough for me as I was going through my own mental health crises. A interesting quote that I found from the article is, in 2010, National Defense Authorization Act, or the NDAA, mandated the creation of a program to support military families who have children or adult dependents with special health care and or educational needs. That is definitely much needed in the military community. A research method that I located in our materials that we've gone over through the course that I found would be the best for my research is the archival research method. It would be the most reliable, as discussing anything medical related is a tough topic for a lot of people, and I feel like it would be a tough topic for parents, especially if they have not come to terms or accepted their child's diagnosis. So, using that method, I would have access to public records, which would mitigate the communication I have with those families via their medical records that are public. A strength with that research is, again, having the public records, which can be accessed pretty much anytime on the internet. You can go down to the library, or in some cases, maybe any government building that has access to those public records. A limitation would be it being a secondary source, as we were taught that a primary source is the best source as it's coming directly from the source. A secondary source, there could be some miscommunications that were not talked about enough in the records, or maybe there was some type of misunderstanding from the family versus the records. And if they were to see our research, then they might be upset, thinking that we misunderstood them or misinterpreted what they had said. If I were to conduct research based off of this topic, I would probably go with a questionnaire, as it is a reliable way to communicate with military families. They're always moving around internationally or locally within the United States. For example, my family and I were in Japan 4 or almost 5 years ago, and then we were in North Carolina not even a year ago, almost a year ago, next month actually. And this would allow a better sampling pool, as getting together with families from one base can create a certain bias, and having the ability to get results from different families across the world potentially would open up a more reliable result, in my opinion. To conclude everything that I had just gone over, the research topic that I chose is military children and families in remote communities having access to mental health services. And the research question was, how do military dependents access these mental health services? The challenging parts of it would be, again, a secondary source, which may not be the most reliable, but a strength would be having access to the public records and not having to go through the families in case it is a hard topic to talk about. Thank you.